transport ship Star Runner came to a slow stop above the massive space station. Through the small window, Hannah Kim looked down at Nexus's Prime Academy. The station was huge. It looked like a giant metal city floating in space. Ships were flying around it like tiny bugs. "First time seeing the Academy?" asked Daeho Park, the boy sitting next to her. He was also from Earth, but he was much taller than Hannah. Almost everyone was taller than Hannah. Double quotes, yes, Hannah said. "I can't believe I'm really here." The Academy was the best military school in the galaxy. Students came from 47 different planets. Only the smartest and strongest got accepted. Hannah was the smallest human in her class. She was also the smallest student in the entire Academy. The docking bay was enormous. When Hannah stepped off the ship, she felt very small. The ceiling was so high she could barely see it. Other students were walking around everywhere. Most of them were huge. A group of blue-skinned aliens walked past. They were 7 feet tall and had muscles like rocks. Their eyes glowed red in the dark. Behind them came creatures that looked like walking trees. They were even taller and had bark for skin. "Those are Zentari warriors," Daeho whispered. "Those tree guys are from Planet Groot." Hannah nodded. She'd studied about different alien species, but seeing them in person was different. They were so big and strong, she felt like a child next to them. "Welcome, new cadets," a loud voice filled the docking bay. Everyone stopped talking and looked up. On a high platform stood the biggest creature Hannah had ever seen. It was 9 feet tall, with gray skin and 4 arms. Its voice sounded like thunder. "I am Instructor Vexstar," the giant alien said. "Are now students at the best military academy in the galaxy. Only the strongest survive here. Only the best become warriors." Hannah felt her heart beating fast. She wanted to be a warrior. She wanted to help protect Earth and all the good planets in the galaxy. But looking around at all these huge, powerful aliens, she wondered if she was strong enough. "Follow me to the main hall," Instructor Vexstar commanded. His 4 arms pointed. "In different directions. Stay in line. Do not fall behind." The group of new students started walking. Hannah tried to keep up, but her legs were much shorter than everyone else's. She had to take 3 steps for every 1 step the others took. Soon, she was falling behind. A massive creature with spikes on its back turned around and looked at her. It had yellow eyes and teeth like knives. This was a Draconary, one of the most feared warrior species in the galaxy. "Look at this tiny human," the Draconary said. Its voice was deep and scary. "How did something so small get accepted here?" Other students turned to look at Hannah. Some of them started laughing. The Draconary's name was Korath. He was the biggest student in their class. "Maybe she's a cook," said another alien. "Or maybe she cleans the bathrooms." "I'm a cadet, just like you," Hannah said. Her voice was quiet, but she tried to sound strong. Korath laughed. It sounded like rocks falling down a mountain. "You, a warrior? You're smaller than my arm?" He held up one of his massive arms. It was true. His arm was thicker than Hannah's whole body. The other students laughed even louder. "Leave her alone," Daeho said. He stepped next to Hannah, but even he looked small next to Korath. "Oh, another weak human," Korath said. "How cute." The little ones stick together. Instructor Vexstar's voice boomed across the hall. "Silence. Keep moving." The group continued walking. Hannah felt her face turn red. She was embarrassed and angry. But she kept walking. She would not give up. The main hall was as big as a football field. Hundreds of students sat on long benches. Hannah and the other new cadets found seats in the back. She had to climb up on her bench because her feet couldn't touch the floor. "Look at the tiny human," someone whispered. "She needs a booster seat." More students started looking at her and laughing. Hannah felt very small and alone. Only Daeho seemed to care about her. Instructor Vexstar stood at the front of the hall. "You are here to become warriors," he said.
Oh.
"The galaxy is a dangerous place. There are pirates, monsters, and enemy armies. We need strong fighters to protect innocent people." Hannah listened carefully. This was why she came here. She wanted to help people. "But not everyone can be a warrior," Vexstar continued. "Some of you are too weak. Some of you are too small. Some of you should go home now and find easier jobs." His 4 eyes seemed to look right at Hannah when he said this. She felt like he was telling her to leave. "Tomorrow, you will start combat training," Vexter said. "You will learn to fight with weapons and with your hands. You will face dangerous creatures. Many of you will fail. Only the strongest will graduate." After the meeting, students went to their rooms. Hannah's room was small but clean. She had a bed, a desk, and a computer. On the wall was a window that looked out into space. She could see stars and other planets far away. Daeho's room was next door. He came to visit her. "Don't listen to them," he said. "You're smart. You've got accepted here, just like everyone else." "But they're right," Hannah said. "I am small. I am weak. How can I fight creatures like Korath?" "You'll find a way," Daeho said. "You always do." That night, Hannah couldn't sleep. She kept thinking about the day. Everyone expected her to fail. They thought humans were weak and useless. Maybe they were. Right. But then she remembered why she came here. Her little sister back on Earth had drawn her a picture before she left. It showed Hannah as a superhero protecting the galaxy from bad guys. Her sister believed in her. Hannah got up and sat at her desk. She turned on her computer and started studying. She couldn't be the strongest or the biggest. Maybe she could be the smartest. She read about combat techniques, alien biology, and military strategy. She would show them all. She would prove that humans could be warriors too. She just had to figure out how. The first week of training was hard for Hannah. Very hard. Every morning she woke up with sore muscles and new bruises. The combat classes were designed for big, strong aliens. The weapons were too heavy for her. The training dummies were too tall. Even the practice mats were too thick for her short legs. "Try harder, Cadet Kim," shouted Instructor Vextar. "If you cannot lift that training sword, how will you fight real enemies?" Hannah struggled with the metal sword. It was made for aliens, with 4 arms, and weighed as much as a small car. Her arms shook as she tried to hold it up. The other students watched and laughed. "Maybe she should use a butter knife instead," said Korath. His friends laughed with him, but Hannah did not give up. When the physical training was over, she went to the library. She studied battle tactics and war strategies. She read about famous military leaders from across the galaxy. She learned about different fighting styles and weapons. "You're always studying," said Daeho. He sat down next to her in the library. "Don't you ever take a break?" "I have to work harder than everyone else," Hannah said. "I need to be smarter if I can't be stronger." Daeho nodded. He understood. He was also struggling with the training, but not as much as Hannah. At least he was tall enough to reach the equipment. Dr. Sujin Lee, a human scientist visiting the academy, often saw Hannah in the library. She was studying alien biology and medicine. One day she sat down with Hannah. "You're very dedicated," Dr. Lee said. "I've been watching you study every night." "I have to be," Hannah replied. "Everyone thinks humans are weak." "Maybe they're right about some things," Dr. Lee said, "but they're wrong about others. Humans have survived on Earth for thousands of years. We didn't get there by being weak." Hannah looked up from her books. "What do you mean?" "Earth is a dangerous planet," Dr. Lee explained. "It had to fight big predators, survive harsh weather, and compete with other species. We learned to be clever and tough. That's why we're here now, traveling among the stars." 2 weeks later, something big happened. Admiral Kextel, the head of the academy, called all students to the main hall. He was even bigger than Instructor Vexter. He had golden skin and eyes like fire. "Students," the admiral said, "it is time for the most important test at this academy, the Apex Trial." The hall became very quiet. Every student knew about the Apex Trial. It was the final test that separated real warriors from pretenders. Every year, our best students face the Academy's apex predator. Admiral Kextal continued. "This creature is the most dangerous beast. In our training facility, it has never been defeated by any cadet under 7 feet tall." Hannah felt her heart sink. She was only 5 feet and 2 inches tall. The creature is called the Vorthok, the Admiral said. It weighs 800 pounds and stands 12 feet tall. It has armor like skin and claws that can cut through metal. Its bite can crush bones. A holographic image appeared above the Admiral, showed a massive beast that looked like a cross between a bear and a dragon. It had 6 legs, glowing yellow, eyes and teeth like swords. Its roar was so loud that some students covered their ears. Only students who defeat the Vorthok can graduate to active military service, the Admiral said. Those who fail must find other careers. Korath raised his hand. When do we fight it? 1 month, the Admiral replied. You will have time to prepare, but remember, this beast has killed many warriors. It is not a game. After the meeting, students talked excitedly about the Apex trial. Some were scared, but most were excited. They thought it would be easy. I'll crush that thing, Korath said. I'm bigger than most Vortex anyway. The beast won't even see me coming, said another alien. My people are natural hunters. Hannah walked quietly behind them. She knew she would never be allowed to fight the Vorthok. She was too small, weak. The Academy would never risk letting her get hurt. That night, she went to the Academy's computer system. She wanted to learn more about the Vorthok. She found old videos of previous Apex trials. She watched dozens of students fight the beast. Most of them lost. The Vorthok was fast and smart. It used its size and strength to overpower its opponents. But something was strange. In every video, the students tried to fight the same way, use brute force. They tried to be stronger than the beast. There has to be another way, Hannah thought. She watched more videos. She studied the Vortex movements. She noticed how it attacked, how it moved, how it balanced its huge body. She took notes on everything. The next day, she found Trainer Boren in the creature training facility. He was the expert on dangerous beasts. He was feeding the Vorthok through a small window in its cage. Excuse me, Hannah said. Can you tell me about the Vorthok? Boren looked down at her. He had green skin and multiple eyes. You're the small human, aren't you? Why do you want to know about the Vorthok? I want to understand it, Hannah said. Boren laughed. Little human, you will never fight the Vorthok. You're too small. The Academy will not allow it. But what if I could? Hannah asked. What would I need to know? Boren looked at her for a long moment. The Vorthok is very aggressive. It attacks with its claws first, then tries to bite. It is very strong, but also very heavy. It has fought over 200 cadets in the past 10 years. How many won? Hannah asked. 43, Boren said. All of them were over 7 feet tall and weighed more than 300 pounds. Hannah thanked him and left. She spent the next few days thinking about what she had learned. The Vorthok was big and strong, but it was also very heavy. Heavy things moved differently than light things. They had different balance points. She started to form an idea. It was a crazy idea, but it might work. 2 weeks before the Apex trial, Hannah decided to ask Admiral Kextol for permission to participate. She knew he would say no, but she had to try. She went to his office. It was huge, with windows that looked out into space. The Admiral sat behind a desk that was bigger than most rooms. Cadet Kim, he said, what brings you here? I want to participate in the Apex trial, Hannah said. The Admiral stared at her for a long moment. Then he started laughing. It was not a happy laugh. Absolutely not, he said. You would be killed in seconds. The Academy is not responsible for suicide missions. But I have the right to try, Hannah said. Academy rules say any cadet can participate. The rules also say I can deny permission if a cadet is clearly not ready, the Admiral replied. You are not ready. You will never be ready. Hannah left the office feeling defeated, but she did not give up. She kept studying the Vorthok. She kept looking for a way to win. She would find it. Hannah could not sleep. She kept thinking about the Vorthok and the Apex trial. Every night she dreamed about the huge beast crushing her with its claws, but she also dreamed about finding a way to win. 3 days after the Admiral said no, Hannah made a discovery, which was in the deepest part of the Academy library, looking through old files on the computer system. Most students never came here. The files were very old and mostly forgotten. She found a section labeled Earth Combat Archives, Historical Data. Her heart started beating faster. She had never seen these files before. When she opened them, she gasped. There were thousands of videos and documents about how humans fought on Earth. There were files about something called martial arts. She had heard the word before, but never really understood what it meant. She clicked on a video file. A holographic figure appeared. In front of her, it looked like an old human man with gray hair and kind eyes. He was wearing a white uniform with a black belt. "Hello," the hologram said. "I am Master Ji Wu Choi. I was a martial arts teacher on Earth for 60 years. If you are watching this, you are probably a human who needs to learn how to fight." Hannah leaned forward. She had never heard of Master Choi, but something about him made her feel calm and hopeful. "Many people think fighting is about being big and strong," Master Choi said, "but that is not true. Fighting is about balance, timing, and using your opponent's strength against them." The hologram showed the master demonstrating different moves. He was not very big, but he moved like water flowing around rocks. He showed how to throw someone much bigger than himself. He showed how to use leverage and physics to win fights. "This is called judo," Master Choi explained. It means gentle way in Japanese. You use your opponent's force against them. When they push, you pull. When they pull, you push. When they attack with strength, you respond with technique. Anna watched for hours. She learned about judo, aikido, and something called Brazilian jiu-jitsu. All of these fighting styles were designed to help smaller, weaker people defeat bigger, stronger opponents. "Humans developed these techniques because we were not the strongest animals on Earth," Master Choi said. "We had to fight bears, tigers, and other dangerous creatures. We learned to be smart instead of strong." The next day, Hannah went to an empty training room. She tried to copy the moves she had seen in the videos. At first, she was clumsy and awkward. But slowly, she started to understand. The movements were like a dance, but with purpose. She practiced every night for a week. She learned how to fall without getting hurt. She learned how to grab and throw. She learned how to use her whole body as a weapon, not just her arms. One night, while she was practicing, someone walked into the room. It was Thexir, an alien student from the planet Zephyr. He was tall and thin, with blue skin and large eyes. "What are you doing?" Thexir asked. Hannah stopped moving. She was embarrassed. "I'm just ... exercising." "That looked like fighting," Thexir said, "but different from what they teach us here." Hannah nodded. "It's called martial arts. It's from Earth." Thexir watched as she demonstrated a simple throw. "That's interesting. You're using physics and momentum? Very clever. You're not going to laugh at me?" Hannah asked. "Why would I laugh?" Thexir said. "My people are also small compared to most aliens. We have to be smart to survive. This looks smart." From that day on, Thexir sometimes watched Hannah practice. He even asked her to teach him some moves. He was the first non-human student to show her any respect. 2 weeks before the Apex trial, something important happened. A special visitor came to the academy. Captain Ray was a human military officer from Earth's Special Forces. She was known throughout the galaxy as one of the best fighters alive. Captain Ray was not very tall, but she moved like a predator. She had scars on her arms and face from many battles. When she spoke, everyone listened. "I've come to observe." "You're training, Captain Ray," announced to the students. "Earth Command wants to know how our people are doing at this academy." That evening, Captain Ray was walking through the training areas when she saw Hannah practicing alone. She stopped and watched quietly. Hannah was working on a complex judo throw. She imagined she was fighting the Vorthok. She grabbed the air where the beast's arm would be dropped low and executed a perfect hip throw. An invisible 800-pound monster flew through the air and crashed to the ground. "Beautiful technique," Captain Ray said. Hannah spun around, startled. She had not heard the captain enter the room. "I'm sorry," Hannah said. "I was just practicing." "Don't apologize," Captain Ray said. "That was a perfect Ogoshi throw." "Where did you learn it?" "From the old archives," Hannah said. "Master Choi's training videos." Captain Ray smiled. Jiwoo Choi was my teacher's teacher. He was a legend on Earth. His students could defeat opponents twice their size. Really? Hannah asked. Really? Captain Ray said. I've seen human soldiers use those techniques to defeat alien warriors 3 times their size. The galaxy thinks we're weak because we're small. They don't understand that we're dangerous because we're smart. Captain Ray sat down on a training mat. Show me what you've learned. For the next hour, Hannah demonstrated everything she had practiced. Captain Ray gave her tips and corrections. She showed Hannah how to improve her balance and timing. You have natural talent, Captain Ray said. But more important, you have the right attitude. You don't try to be stronger than your opponent. Try to be smarter. I want to fight the Vorthok, Hannah said. But the Admiral won't let me. Captain Ray was quiet for a moment. The Vorthok is very dangerous. Many good warriors have died fighting it. I know, Hannah said. But I think I can beat it. I've studied its movements. I know its weaknesses. What weaknesses? Captain Ray asked. Hannah pulled out her notes. It's very heavy and attacks with its front claws first. It relies on its size and strength. But heavy things have high centers of gravity. If I can get close and use its weight against it. Captain Ray looked at the notes. Her eyes got wider as she read. This is very good analysis. You found something that other students missed. Will you help me convince the Admiral? Hannah asked. Captain Ray stood up. I'll think about it, but first you need more training. If you're going to fight the Vorthok, you need to be perfect. One mistake and you're dead. That night, Hannah practiced until her muscles hurt. She felt hope for the first time in weeks. Maybe she really could do this. Maybe she could show everyone that humans were not weak. She thought about her little sister back on Earth. She thought about all the people who believed humans couldn't be real warriors. She would prove them wrong. She would fight the Vorthok. Somehow she would win. 1 week before the Apex trial, everything changed. Captain Ray went to Admiral Keckstall's office. Then she stayed there for 2 hours. Nobody knew what they talked about. But when she came out, she was smiling. The next day, the Admiral made an announcement. Due to special circumstances, Cadet Kim will be allowed to participate in the Apex trial. The entire academy was shocked. Students could not believe what they heard. Some were angry, others were excited. Most thought it was a death sentence. This is crazy, Korath shouted. A tiny human will be killed in seconds. Maybe that's the point, said another alien. Show everyone how weak humans really are. Daeho was worried. Are you sure about this? The Vorthok is really dangerous. I'm sure, Hannah said. But inside, she was scared. She had been training hard. She had never fought a real monster before. Dr. Sujin Lee found Hannah in the library that evening. I heard about your permission to fight. How do you feel? Terrified, Hannah admitted. But also excited? This is my chance to prove that humans belong here. Just remember, Dr. Lee said, you're not fighting for yourself. You're fighting for all humans who will come after you. Show them what we're capable of. The week passed quickly. Hannah trained every day with Captain Ray. She practiced the same movements over and over until they became automatic. She studied the Vorthok's attack patterns until she knew them by heart. Remember, Captain Ray said, the beast will try to intimidate you first. It will roar and show its teeth. Don't let fear control you. Fear makes you slow. What if I mess up? Hannah asked. You won't, Captain Ray said. You've trained harder than anyone. Trust your instincts. The night before the trial, Hannah could not eat. Her stomach was full of butterflies. She tried to sleep, but her mind was racing. She kept thinking about all the things that could go wrong. Daeho knocked on her door. Can't sleep either? No, Hannah said. I keep thinking about tomorrow. You'll be fine, Daeho said. You're the smartest person I know. If anyone can beat that thing, it's you. What if everyone is right? What if I'm just too small? Then you'll prove that small doesn't mean weak, Daeho said. You'll show them that humans are tougher than they think. The day of the Apex trial arrived. The entire academy gathered in the combat arena. It was a huge circular room with high walls and bright lights. In the center was a fighting platform surrounded by energy shields. Students filled the seats around the arena. Teachers and staff sat in special sections. Even some important visitors from other planets had come to watch. Ladies and gentlemen, announced Admiral Kextel. Today we witness the Apex trial. 5 cadets will face our most dangerous predator. Only those who defeat the Vorthok will graduate to active duty. The first 4 fighters were all huge aliens. They were confident and strong. One by one, they entered the arena and faced the Vorthok. The beast was even more terrifying in person. It was 12 feet tall and covered in thick armor-like skin. Its claws were as long as swords. Its teeth could bite through metal. Its yellow eyes glowed with hunger and rage. The first cadet was a Zentari warrior. He was 8 feet tall and had muscles like mountains. He fought bravely, but the Vorthok was too fast and too strong. Within 5 minutes, he was defeated. The second cadet lasted 3 minutes. The third cadet lasted 4 minutes. The fourth cadet was Korath, the huge Draknari, who had always mocked Hannah. "This will be easy," Korath said as he entered the arena. "I'll crush this beast like a bug." But the Vorthok was not a bug. It was a perfect killing machine. Korath tried to use his size and strength, but the beast was bigger and stronger. After 6 minutes of fighting, Korath was carried out on a stretcher. And now, Admiral Kextel announced, our final challenger, Cadet Hannah Kim of Earth. The arena became very quiet. Everyone watched as Hannah walked onto the platform. She looked tiny compared to the massive Vorthok. She looked like a child facing a dragon. "This is ridiculous," someone said. "She'll be killed before she can even move." "How long do you think she'll last?" asked another voice. 10 seconds, said a third. "Maybe 15 if she runs." Betting screens lit up around the arena. Most people bet that Hannah would be defeated in less than 30 seconds. Nobody bet that she would win. In the VIP section, Captain Ray watched quietly. She had faith in Hannah, but she was also worried. The Vorthok had killed many warriors. One mistake could be fatal. Dr. Sujin Lee sat next to her. "She can do this, right?" "I hope so," Captain Ray said. "She's trained hard. She knows what she's doing." Daeho was in the student section. His hands were shaking as he watched his friend prepare to fight. "Come on, Hannah," he whispered. "You can do this." The Vorthok was released into the arena. It moved slowly at first, studying its tiny opponent. Then it let out a roar that shook the entire building. The sound was so loud that some people covered their ears. Hannah stood perfectly still. She did not run. She did not scream. She just watched the beast and waited. The Vorthok charged. Its 6 legs moved like thunder across the platform. Its claws were extended, ready to tear Hannah apart. Its mouth was open, showing teeth like daggers. Everyone in the arena held their breath. This was it. The tiny human was about to be destroyed. But then something amazing happened. As the Vorthok reached her, Hannah suddenly dropped to one knee. It looked like she had tripped. It looked like she was falling. The crowd gasped. Some people looked away. They did not want to see what happened next. But Hannah had not fallen. She had planned this. As the Vorthok's massive claws reached for her, she grabbed its right arm with both hands. She planted her feet and used the beast's own momentum against it. In one smooth motion, she stood up and twisted her hips. The Vorthok, all 800 pounds of it, flew through the air. It spun like a wheel and crashed onto its back with a sound like thunder. The arena was completely silent. Nobody moved.
Ow.
Nobody believed. Nobody could believe what they had just seen. The tiny human girl had just thrown the Academy's apex predator through the air like it was a toy. The Vorthok lay on its back, stunned and confused. It had never been thrown before. It did not understand what had happened. Hannah quickly moved to the beast's side. Before it could recover, she grabbed its arm and twisted it behind its back. She used a joint lock that Master Choi had taught her. The Vorthok could not move without hurting itself. "It's over," Hannah said quietly. "I win." The arena exploded in noise. Students were cheering and screaming. Teachers were shaking their heads in disbelief. Extal looked shocked. Captain Ray was smiling. "That's my girl," she said. Daeho was jumping up and down. She did it. She actually did it. The loudest voice belonged to the Academy's computer system. Winner, Cadet Hannah Kim of Earth. Time, 47 seconds. The impossible had happened. The tiny human had defeated the unbeatable monster. And she had done it faster than anyone ever had before. For 10 seconds, the arena was completely silent.
Ouch.
8,000 students and teachers stared at the impossible scene before them. The tiny human girl was sitting on top of the academy's most dangerous predator, holding it down with techniques nobody had ever seen before. Then chaos erupted. "Impossible," shouted a Zentari teacher. "The Vorthok cannot be defeated so easily. She used some kind of trick," yelled a student from the upper seats. "It's not fair. How did she do that?" asked another voice. "How did she throw something 8 times her weight?" Admiral Kexthal stood up from his chair. His forearms were shaking. "Release the beast immediately," he commanded over the loudspeaker. "The trial is over." But Hannah did not let go. She kept the Vorthok in the joint lock, making sure it could not hurt anyone. "Send the trainers first," she called back. "I'll release it when it's safe." 3 trainers with energy nets entered the arena. They carefully approached the confused beast. When they were ready, Hannah slowly released her hold and stepped back. The trainers quickly captured the Vorthok and led it away. As Hannah walked off the platform, the arena was still in chaos. Some students were cheering, others were arguing. Many were demanding answers. She cheated somehow. Korath shouted from his hospital bed, which had been brought to the arena. "Humans can't be that strong." "Nobody cheated," said Captain Ray. Standing up in the VIP section, she used skill, not strength. She used physics, not magic. Admiral Kexthal activated his microphone. "Silence. All of you, silence." The arena slowly became quiet. "I demand an explanation. How did a human defeat our apex predator?" Captain Ray walked down to the arena floor. Behind her, a holographic projector activated. The image of Master Jiwoo Choi appeared in the center of the arena. "Greetings," the holographic master said. "If you are seeing this, then a human has just done something that surprised you." The crowd gasped. They had never seen Earth fighting techniques before. "What you witnessed was not magic," Master Choi continued. "It was science. For thousands of years, humans have studied the art of using an opponent's strength against them. We call this martial arts." The hologram showed demonstrations of judo throws, aikido techniques, and leverage-based combat. It explained how humans had learned to defeat larger, stronger opponents through technique and timing. "On Earth, humans hunted animals much larger than themselves," Master Choi said. "We fought bears, tigers, and other dangerous predators. We survived not because we were the strongest, but because we were the smartest." Dr. Sujin Lee joined Captain Ray on the arena floor. "The human body evolved for endurance and intelligence," she explained to the crowd. "We may not be the biggest or strongest species, but we are excellent at learning and adapting." Admiral Kexthal was listening carefully. "Are you saying that all humans can do this?" "With proper training, yes," Captain Ray said. "What Cadet Kim demonstrated today is just one example of human combat potential. We have been underestimated." For too long, a Draknari teacher stood up. "This changes everything. Our entire combat training is based on size and strength. If technique can overcome power, ... then we need to learn these techniques," finished Instructor Vexstar. "We need to understand human fighting methods." Suddenly, students began approaching Hannah. First came Nexir, the alien who had watched her practice. "Will you teach me?" asked. "I want to learn this martial arts." Then came more students. Even some of the aliens who had mocked her before were now interested in learning from her. "Please," said a young Zentari cadet. "My people are strong, but we could be stronger with better technique." "I want to learn too," said a tree-like alien from planet Groot. "Size is not everything. I see this now." Even Korath, still lying on his stretcher, looked ashamed. "I was wrong about you," he said quietly. "I was wrong about humans. Will you, ... will you forgive me?" Hannah looked at him for a moment. "Of course," she said. "We're all here to learn." Admiral Kexthal called another assembly that evening. The entire academy gathered to hear his announcement. "Today we learned something important," the admiral said. "We learned that there are many ways to be a warrior. Strength is important, but technique is also important. Speed is valuable, but intelligence is also valuable." He paused and looked directly at Hannah. "Effective immediately, the academy will begin teaching human martial arts alongside our traditional combat training. Cadet Kim will assist our instructors in developing this new curriculum. The crowd murmured with excitement. Many students were eager to learn these new fighting techniques. Furthermore, the Admiral continued, I am promoting Cadet Kim to the rank of junior instructor. She has earned the respect of this academy and the right to teach others. Hannah felt tears in her eyes. Just a few weeks ago, everyone thought she was too weak to be a warrior. Now she was being asked to train future warriors. Captain Ray approached her after the assembly. I have an offer for you, she said. Earth's Special Forces wants you to join us after graduation. We need people who can think outside the box. Really? Hannah asked. Really? Captain Ray said. You've proven that humans have something unique to offer the galaxy. We want you to help us show the universe what we're capable of. 3 months. Later, the academy was a very different place. Human martial arts classes were the most popular courses. Students from dozens of different species were learning judo, aikido, and other earth-fighting techniques. Hannah taught classes every day. She showed aliens how to use leverage and momentum. She taught them that fighting was not just about being big and strong. It was about being smart and quick and knowing when to use your opponent's power against them. Daeho was her assistant instructor. He had learned the techniques quickly and was now teaching basic classes to new students. I can't believe how much things have changed, said one day, as they watched a class of mixed alien and human students practicing together. It's just the beginning, Hannah said.
Oh, there's so much more to learn and teach.
Korath had become one of her best students. Despite his size, he was learning to be gentle and precise. You were right, he told her. Technique is more important than strength. I understand this now. The Academy's combat scores improved dramatically. Students who learned human techniques were performing better in all areas of training. They were more confident, more creative, and more effective fighters. Admiral Kextall sent reports to military commanders across the galaxy. Soon other academies were requesting human instructors. Earth's reputation was changing from weak and small to clever and dangerous. On graduation day, Hannah stood with her class on the Academy's main platform. She was no longer the smallest, weakest cadet. She was a respected instructor and a proven warrior. You did it, Daeho said. You changed everything. You did it, Hannah corrected. And this is just the beginning. As they prepared to leave for their new assignments, Hannah thought about her little sister back on Earth. The picture of her as a superhero was still on her desk. But now it didn't seem so impossible. Humans were finally taking their place among the galaxy's great warriors. Not because they were the biggest or strongest, but because they were smart, determined, and willing to find new ways to win. The universe was about to learn that size didn't matter. Heart and skill mattered more, and humans had both in abundance.